So we are going to start with Windows layer. So there is a very simple process for creating a window on a Windows operating system. So you just search creating window mstn. Yeah. So it's a very simple process which will follow. So this is in C++. We are going to code it in Odin language. Odin is a really good language. I'm liking it as far as I'm doing it. So it's a C alternative. It is a low-level programming language with a very good control over memory and other stuff. It's more similar to C, uh, and also it does not have pain points of C++, not C++, but C. Like so, C has null terminated strings. Odin Odin does not have null terminated strings. It has length by itself. So basically, it has a pointer which points to the first byte of the string, and also length which is stored in there by default. So yeah, so it's a and it has other nice modern features which C lacks, and I'm really liking the way it turned out. Like it's a modern programming language with lots of cool features for game development specifically. We'll see them when we do it. Okay, so first thing we are gonna make some folders. Okay, so we'll make a folder called Win32. Right, this is where our Windows code will live, and also we'll need to create a file which will be called Win32 platform.odin. You know what? Let's not do it here. Let's just do it from text editor. And yeah, so for building our code, what we so Odin has build command, and it takes the folder, right? Which folder you want to start it. So for Windows, we'll start with Windows. If we do any other platform later on, we can just make a new platform for Linux, and all the platform specific code will be in that folder, and we'll build that folder, and our game will be automatically built for that particular platform. We are also building it currently in debug mode. Uh, Yada yada yada. Okay, so let's create a file, and we'll save this file in handmade engine Win32. We'll name this Win32 platform.odin, right? So basically Odin has package system. We'll call this Win32, or we can also call Windows, does not matter right now. And we'll import courses Windows. I guess that's right. I'm not sure. We'll also import format package, which allows us to print to console and other stuff. We also need an import for OpenGL, which would be which I have to check in the packages. I think it's in vendor library. Yeah. So I was saying the nice point of using Odin is it has vendor libraries come with the language itself, like lots of libraries which in general game development we use, like OpenGL, DirectX, and there are GLFW, which is cross-platform library which allows us to create window and stuff. But we are not going to use them anymore. There are others also which is quite nice, but what we need is OpenGL. Okay, so OpenGL package name is this. So we will do vendor OpenGL, right? So we'll import this, and we can name that particular package GL. So we anything we use from that package will have to prefix it with GL, GL dot some. Okay, so also Odin has a main function from where everything starts. So this is basically an entry point. So first of all, we'll need to create. So there are a couple of steps when we create a window. So the first step is to create a window class, right? So basically you have to create a window class, then you register that class. After registering the class, you create a window, right? And once you get the window, so this will just get you a window, but it won't but we after creating window we need to start a message loop, right? So this message loop is basically we are communicating with Windows operating system after creating window, like for events such as keyboard event, if somebody resize our window, if somebody is moving our window, lots of these kind of events we have to set up a message loop, and then we have finished our window creation. uh, yeah. So yeah, so let's start with our window class, right? So basically we have to create this window class, and if we find, if we go for window, uh, I think it's a OS specific, not sure. Let me just search wind class. So I can search wind class. Yes, so this is the structure, right? uh, so this is the structure we'll be creating. So we'll call this wind class, right? And this will be type of, and also for Windows we'll be creating Win32 this. So this would be type of Win32 win class xw, right? And then we have to we have to put this data in here, and for that we can just go and look into this structure here. We want to see wind class x, it's a new one, right? So first one is the cb size. It just takes size of the struct. So we'll just do c, no, where is it? Cb size equal to size of, we can just copy this, right? So that's it. And for style, so now there is a style and the class style. We can look into the class styles, what kind of styles are. Yeah, so this is important. We need own DC because we need a device context for our window, which is unique to this particular window. Also we need cs vdraw and cs hdraw. You can read whatever it does, but you know I've done this couple of times. So basically these are just uh, so we'll copy this. I think we'll put that first. So Win32 CS on DC, and we'll OR them because these are like bit flags. CSV draw, like that, right? So style is done. Now we also need a pointer to window proc function. So this is what I meant by a message, right? So in Windows there is a particular way Windows calls us for something, and it takes in this function pointer, and then it will call whenever there is an event or something like that. It will call us with this function, right? We can close this one. Yeah, so there is this window proc, and there is also something called default window proc, which is called by their side, which is like default window proc. Yeah, so this is there, right? So there is this default window proc, and we'll I think we have to use the same one. uh hmm, yeah, so we can just use this one for defining, right? Yeah, and we'll call this wind proc, right? So this will take in handle, right? So this is like our handle to, and this is all passed by our operating system, because we are not calling this function. Operating system will call us into this, and we'll call this message. This is wait, I think we can change this. uh yeah, let me just find, so we can go to packages, core library packages, and then there is os 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 as windows, this windows, right? And here if we search, yes, so this is the definition which we'll be using, because it is, yeah. So we'll call this window proc, and it's a standard code. So this is a way to notify how this function will get called in Odin language. And we'll also rename this parameter as handle. This will be as message w param l param. This is fine. We need to remove this and then put this back. We'll put some stuff in here in this function later on, right? We have to do something, but for now, uh, we'll just go to our win class, this one, right? So now we have this, which we need to initialize with our win proc. Then we have cb, this particular thing. This is like, I think the system initialized bytes to 0. We don't need to worry about this. You can read, but it's not, yeah. We don't use that. Each instance is important. Handle to instance that contains window procedure, right? So we need to initialize this, and to get the instance. So if you are using win main entry point, win main entry point comes by default with h instance. But as we are not using win main entry point, we are using something called for console, right? This is entry point for console. So we'll get h instance from, I think there is a function called get instance, get handle. uh, Let me just look into this. So there is a get instance, h instance is a handle, handle. Okay, so let's do get h instance in Windows. Determine the current. How do you get? Yeah, so it's a get module handle and run with little h module which you can cast interpret as h instance. Yeah. So it's a this one, get module handle a. So we can just call win32 dot get module handle a, and we need to pass in nil, right? So it would return us this particular handle for this our executable, and then we can cast this uh, into win32h instance. I guess this should, okay, no, okay, there are a couple of, okay, I'm syntax error, expected this, got this. Wind class W. Hmm. Oh, oh my bad. It's like this. Uh, New to syntax. Okay, so undeclared name h wind. So here we have to do this, and missing return statement at the end of the procedure window return. Okay, so this takes in integer. So what we'll do right now is we'll just do result, which would be integer, will initialize to 0, and then we'll just return this, right? Or uh, yeah, there is a better way. So we can just do, we can call into our def window proc, right? So we got the def window proc a. We can just call this, so def window proc a or w, and then uh, parameters. Okay, it takes in, yeah, my bad. So it takes in handle message w param l param, right? So now our code compiles. If we do this, uh, so a is not declared by win32 get module. I guess there is a some mistake, spelling mistake. Yes. Okay, so H instance is done. Now H icon we don't care. H cursor we do care because we want, okay, for now we don't care. We want to get window up and running first. Menu name we don't care. Yes, this class name we do care about this class name. So this is a unique class name for this particular window. And so for wind class name, we can just do class name. Basically what this takes, it takes lpcw string, right? It's a very weird naming convention used by windows. It lp stands for long pointer, right? So it's a pointer to c character, wide character, right? It means wide character string, right? So wide character means utf encoded. Yeah, right, it's not ascii characters. So in odin, as I told you, strings are not null terminated, so we need to convert those to null terminated strings. So there is a function, helper function in windows, that is called utf8 to w string, right? And here we can just say that this would be our handmade window class, right? And then we can just pass this class name, right? Otherwise it would give us error. It would, yeah, right. And then we have h icon scene. This does not, we don't care about this, right? Now as I told you about, the second step is to register class, and for registering class, we do have, okay, we can close this one. So yeah, we don't need this one. So for registering class, we have a function called register class, and this returns atom. So if we go to register class documentation, it returns atom, which is kind of like success. It kind of like boolean. It works little bit like boolean, not exactly. So we'll call register class a. So we can just find register class. So yeah. So we'll need to call register class xw, right? So this method. So we'll just copy this, and we can call. So we can call it inside the if register class. I think, yeah, we can just check how does it work. So xw will take in our wind class, right? And as you can see, it takes in pointer to the wind class. So we just send address to wind class, and if, I guess, I think it does not work like that. Yeah, non-boolean condition. So we need to check if it's a zero. If it's not equal to zero, I guess this would work. Yeah, so if it's not equal to zero, and we can also do else, and we can just print that uh, register class window class not registered successfully. Yeah, something like this. And if we run, this would run. And yeah, so when I run my program also, it does not give me error, right? So it is registering successfully. And if we are registering, yeah, so now we can create this create window x. Now we can call this function, right? Windows create x. And if we can search here window uh, create window xw. So this is a method which you want to call. So let's, I guess, and it returns handle to window, right? So basically what we here have to do is, let's just copy here, paste it here, and this returns handle, and this is basically a window handle. This would be Win32. So we'll remove this proc, right? And now we have a couple of things. Auto indent region, nice. Okay, so now we'll look into these functions, like what they do. So there is a dwx style. We can see extended window styles, and what we need here is, okay, I don't need, we need this extended style. Yep, we don't need extended style. We need just styles. I don't think we need extended style. Force top level window onto the taskbar when window is visible. No, 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 no. Okay, so there is this overlap window, palette window. Okay, not interested in that. So we are gonna just pass. Can we pass zero? Let's look at here. I guess we can just leave this as zero, like this, right? So LP class name, we know what my class name is, so we can just do window class dot this thing, or we can just pass in this directly, right? So let's just do this, like this. And also we need a window name, right? So whatever the title of our window, so we'll just call this title or window title, and then we can call the same function, right? uh, like this, and we'll just call this game, whatever game is. Then we can just put wind title here. Right now we have this dw style. So dw style, where- yes, dw style windows style values. So let's go to windows style, windows style. So we need this overlap window which has, a lot of things which we need. Yes, I think we need that. Yes, overlap window, and that's it. And we need one more thing, which is visible, right? So we'll copy this one, and we'll do win32 this, and then win32 dot ws uh, visible. So this will allow our window to visible at the start when we create. Right. And then we have like x, y, 0. So we'll just set our coordinates to 0 comma 0. Width and height will just create a constant for those. So our width would be 900, our height would be 600, and then we can just pass this, so width and height. Okay, so hwin parent we don't care, 0 or nil. H menu we don't care, 0. H instance we do care, but we already got it, so we can just do winClass.h instance. Lparam, I'm not sure, let me check here in the doc. So yeah, they are passing this null nil, so we'll just do nil nil, and yes, so this is our function. We'll also check here if handle is not nil. uh, Else we can just copy this, paste it here, for, and we can just do uh, window creation fail, right? Window class registration fail. so so see if I run, we are getting window, and then it just gets, right, because as I told you, we did this, we need uh, we need our message loop to get started, right? So for message loop, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make one more, not constant but global variable, which will be boolean, right? So it would be false if we get our handle, right, that means our window creation is successful. So then we can set it true, and then we can set a message loop. So this is a loop, this is not a message loop, and in here we'll start our message loop. So if we go here, so that will be window messages. Yeah, so this is the loop. We will not use this get message function, we'll be using peak message function. Right, so we need a message, so which is type of win32 message, and then we can do for let's check out peak message a, yeah, so it returns boolean, so we can put this into the, so what we have to do is we need to pull out, so there is a queue for messages which window has, and whenever, so at the start of our frame, at the start of our loop, so what we have to do is we have to empty the whole queue. We are pulling the all the event messages that window has given, right? So this peak message, what it does, it peaks the first message, and we can also remove the message from the queue. And so what we'll do is we'll take all the messages, we'll dispatch those messages, we'll do whatever we want to do with those messages, and then we'll start once at the so at every start of the frame we'll just clear out the queue which window has given us. If we don't do this, it would create a problem sometimes. I'm not sure how does it create a problem because I always do this, but from what I've learned they showed me this way and that's what I've been doing. So Win32, we can call this peak message. I guess there is no difference between W and A. Hmm. Ah, okay. Okay. So I guess let's just use W. So we need to pass a pointer for a message. We need to also pass handle to window, but if we pass null, it takes whatever this window, it takes message for this whole executable or all the windows which we have, which might have. So in windows we can do multiple windows, but we for game only need one window, so that does not matter. But we have, if we have multiple windows, then we need to pull, if we want to pull message for some particular window, we'll pass that, we can pass that handle to window to this particular function, and then it will only give us the message for that particular window. For we'll do 0 0. I think we can see, look into the documentation here. So I can just go and do peak message a, and you can see that this is basically how many message you need. I guess you can just do 0 if you want to just get all the messages. Yeah, so if we do pass both 0, so it's basically a minimum maximum amount of how many message, like, but we need all messages, so that's it. And then we'll pass in pm remove. So what it does, it picks the message, and also once we do, it will remove it. So we'll do pm remove, and we'll check if we have, so it will also return bool, it will return true if it has a message, it will return false if it does not. So we'll keep pulling these messages, we'll keep, emptying the queue until we don't have any messages. And if we look at in here, once you get the message, you have to translate message and dispatch message. Also we will be handling some of the, what kind of messages we are getting here, like keyboard import and something like those. So this message structure, if you want to see this message structure, it has a message type, right? So this is like message type, and so we can do case over this message type. There are we can, I guess we can search, uh not search, we can actually, I guess that would be in the window procedure. Yeah, wm size, no, not that one. Yeah, I'm not able to find that. But as you can see, there are wm quit and those other type. Where can we see the messages? Yeah, so there, these are all the messages. There are different type of messages which we get. Excuse me. So we can just do switch over message dot message, and then we can define case. So we can do Win32 wm close. So when we do wm close, what we want to do is we want to set our loop. What am I doing? To false, right? So we'll just close this loop when we get wm close. That means if we click the close button, it will get clicked, or if we do alt F4, right? In other cases which are default, which we can we can handle other cases, but for now we don't need to. So for default cases, what we'll do is, as you here see, we'll call translate message and dispatch messages, right? So it's a window Win32 translate message, and we have to pass this, and then Win32 dispatch message, which is something like this. And if we run, it gives error. What is that? Message of type has no field called message. Okay, I mistyped there. And what the other one is dispatch message. Do you mean dispatch W? Yes, I did mean dispatch W. Thanks for nice errors. Okay, so but this won't be enough, right? As I told you, what this translate message and dispatch message does is a weird thing. Okay, but Windows has, I don't know, some reason which I don't know. Whoever designed Windows, ask them, oh, what is this API? But what is done here is basically in our message loop, right? So we have message loop, right? So what is our loop? So it's a message loop. It takes messages, and we can see what type of message it is, right? We can see what type of message it is. Depending on what type of message it is, we can do our code, right? But Windows don't allow us to do that in most, like it allows us to do in some cases, but not all the cases, right? What Windows want is that whatever we message we get, right? Whatever message we get, we need to translate them and dispatch them, right? So here, when we empty our message queue, we have to dispatch this message, and we need to tell Windows that okay, we have handled this message and I dispatch, and now Windows can call my process function, right? My message function, this function, whenever it feels like it needs to. Don't ask me why this is. It is the way it is. Right? It is what it is. Yeah. So it's a weird thing, but they might have, they will have their reasons. I'm not saying anything. So we also have to handle some of the message here, but for keyboard messages and stuff, we are gonna handle here. Some of them we are gonna do. Potato. Okay, so here we'll do the same thing, right? So we need this result, and we'll do switch on, as I told you, onto this message. So this is like message type. So we do this, and we'll handle a destroy message here. We can also handle WM size, I guess. Yeah, for now this is it, and for other cases, as I told you, we will just duplicate this. We're gonna put this here, and here the result would be 0 because we have handled this case, and it is all gone. And now window creation failed. Okay, so oh, so here we also need to call for post quit message. Yes, it takes in code, which is, I'll pass in exit code as 0. Okay, for some reason we are failing window creation. So we are registering a class create window. Hmm. Have we missed anything? Let me check. Option window stars is 0. It was working till we did this. Okay, I guess it's a something wrong with here. Oh, obviously, I am so dumb. Woohoo! So it's that easy to get a window Ragat. So now we are able to resize, right? But as you can see, it does not paint, right? Whenever we resize, we do something, it does not paint again. It does not repaint, right? We can close the window, and I think it did not get closed for some obvious reasons. Yes, destroy. Yeah, it does not. It did not get closed. I can see because the process did not exited. And if I search for handmade or game handmade, it got closed. Yeah, it is still running. The command is running. It's a handmade application. So if I go to my terminal, go for handmade, oh, it doesn't show. That is weird. Yeah, oh, it is still running. Um, how? Why it is still running? It's this application. Once I close, I guess I have to close this whole thing. So if I close, yeah, see, it's the process is running. I have to force stop it. Okay, so let's open our editor. Let's load our project. Win32 platform. Okay, so there is a problem. Uh, Let me find this. Okay, so this is fine. Result 0. WM close. I guess it's not coming here. So if I do print ln close, right, and let's build this and we'll run it from terminal so we can force close it. Yeah, so it's a it's not coming here. Huh. It is here for sure. Let me check window messages. So not that window procedure. I might have done something wrong. So this is nice. This is okay. This is okay. Huh. Okay. So the loop is not stopped. Oh, it's a WM quit message. Oh, my bad. It's a WM quit message. So now it will close. Right. So now if I run it from a terminal, if I alter F4, it get closed. It is calling close. That is a good thing. Okay. So now we have a window, right? We can click, we can run, we have a window, but we don't have anything else. Right. So